everyone. This is Lily,
This is Vidia,
and welcome to Girls
Grace,
and Giggles.
Okay, welcome to episode 9. This episode will be quite interesting. I'm looking forward to it because we'll be talking about
Me too.
things that are either overrated or underrated
Mm-hmm.
or properly rated.
Right, appropriately rated.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it could be, like things or like an actual item or like an idea, a
Yeah.
situation, a
Anything.
place.
So the fun part of this is that Vidia and I each have come up with a list, and we don't know what's on the list. So this list is,
Except for one of those.
yeah, except for one. And so
Yeah.
this list is basically hitting us cold.
Yeah.
And so this is like very raw, which is
Candid.
Yeah, super candid. So do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
But please don't cancel me if my opinions are not aligned
Okay,
with
blah, blah,
yours.
blah, yeah,
This is
yeah,
just
yeah.
my own opinion.
Okay. Yes.
All right, let's go
I
for
can't believe you have to say that now. This
But
is just like so silly. Like, whatever, guys. This is just like
for fun.
Yeah, like take a chill pill.
All right. Sorry. The first one on my list, Taylor Swift.
Dun dun dun. All right, starting out with a
Video
bang.
canceled.
Okay, so should we do like a 1, 2, 3, and then we say what we think? Is it
Sure,
overrated?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Overrated.
Oh,
I'm
bird.
sorry to all the Swifties in the
Oh
world.
my gosh. Wow. Okay. So what is your reasoning?
So
for the
okay, I
overrated?
really have to explain that this is not to diminish her talents and her performance skills. I think, I even watched her Miss Americana documentary on Netflix because
okay.
Taylor Swift was coming to Vancouver a few months ago.
Yep, for the
and
Eras tour.
For the
Finale.
last stop of the
Yeah.
Eras tour. So I thought,
Mhm.
you know what? I need to know like what the hype is all about. I just
Mhm.
really want to know why she's such a cultural and global phenomenon.
Mm.
Yes, I think she's great in like, overcoming so many challenges to rise up.
Mhm.
And you know that she's been made into like lessons in media studies and like economics.
Yeah.
And things
There's like
that.
studies about her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think at the end of the day, her music is just not my cup of tea.
Mhm.
So I think it's me who can't appreciate.
Why are you so nervous? Calm down.
I'm not nervous.
She
I
says
guess-
nervously.
Yeah. I'm sure, like she's a great performer, and
Yeah.
I can't write songs. I can't, perform like she does. But
Yeah.
I just, her taste of music is just different from mine.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with everything you said. So like +1 for Lily. Like I agree. I think that there's also the thing that she's close to our age. And I find that with artists that are like basically my age or slightly older or slightly younger, I just feel like it's just not as impressive to me somehow as artists who are like very well seasoned. And I'm like, oh wow, they've like done more. I just feel like, oh, like it's like when Justin
really?
Bieber was like really popular, like just when he was starting out on YouTube and stuff. I'm like, oh, this kid is like younger than me, and I just feel like, oh man, like no offense.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
wow.
And so it's just I don't really see them as like, it's just me as well. Like I don't see them as artists in their I mean, of course she's an artist, she's a global phenomenon, etc., etc. But yeah, I agree with Vidia. Like her music is just very poppy, like pop centric. I mean, she started out in country and then fully transitioned basically into pop. And I don't know, like the lyrics are
Why are you so nervous, Lily?
I'm not nervous. I'm trying to find the correct word or like the appropriate word. I think they're kind of basic. And so it's not as, I mean, they're very catchy, don't get me wrong.
Yes,
and like pop music, and when we're at KTV, like I would sing some of her songs because they're, I mean, it's on the radios everywhere. It's like ubiquitous, so it's hard to not know some of her songs. So I do know some of them. And we sing them and they're very catchy, but I think that the lyrics and such are just not very, it's
lacking depth.
Yeah, I would say, I would agree. And it's very much just like, oh, like, you know, she likes him, he doesn't like her, or he likes her and she doesn't like him, and then this and that, and like it's just like, okay, yeah, all right, I get it. Like, so yeah, maybe it's just catchy, but like it's a bit to the extent like perhaps we were too old for her. Like her Swifty fans are generally like teens, right? I presume. I think
I
so.
don't
Like
know.
generally I think they're younger or like more like fangirl in the sense of like, oh, she really like was formative in their childhood years. So
Mm-hmm.
like for artists that I enjoy, like they they now like they were formative in my childhood years, so I feel
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh, like I still have like this nostalgia toward them. Perhaps not because necessarily their music is better than Taylor Swift, but just because like when I grew up, that was kind of the those were the things that I was listening to. And then it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, like
Yeah.
I like Backstreet Boys when I was a kid, you know. But so like it's not like, and Backstreet Boys like 90s, you know, boy
90s boy
band
bands. Yeah.
like music, boy group music, like it has that kind of like catchy like pop vibe
Right.
as Taylor Swift. So it's not necessarily that one is like better than the other, but it's just like when I grew up, it was during that era, and like that
Mm-hmm.
was
I
kind
see.
of,
I
so when I
see.
look back and I'm like, oh, that was like a formative part of my childhood, and I
Right.
have this nostalgia toward the band. And so it's like, oh yeah, if there is a Backstreet Boys concert, you know, and it's like in Vancouver and relatively cheap tickets, I would be like, yeah, okay, why not? For old time's sake, I would be, you know, that'd be like a fun night out or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can't really say the same for Taylor Swift because I just, you know, I didn't get on that train, and now it's like
Yeah.
past.
Yeah. I just really, yeah, fail to understand how big she is, like
Yeah.
to the extent of, when people couldn't get tickets
Yeah.
for the concert in Vancouver,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
just still came here to
Yeah.
be here.
Yeah, just to be in the same city, and
Exactly.
like I, oh my
Just to
goodness,
be
like the
in the
stories that I've
atmosphere.
heard, like the
Yeah.
tickets I heard someone sold for $20,000.
Yes.
20,000 Canadian dollars. You can buy like two crappy cars with that, you know, or like one relatively good car with that. Like that's not a small amount of money. That's quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's like that could pay your rent for like, I don't know. Depends on where you live in
Yeah.
Vancouver, let's be real, but you know. But yeah, it's quite a lot. Like even when I was in the Uber, there was one the Uber driver was saying that he picked up somebody and their colleague lived near like the downtown like Rogers Arena, and her colleague was willing to pay $200 just to sit on her balcony, which was facing the
Oh,
arena, so she
wow.
could like hear the music
Yeah.
coming out of the stadium. And I was like, goodness, like this is ridiculous. Like it's become some sort of like cult phenomena, you know. So I think it's just the level of obsession is a bit like like too disproportional
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the thing. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's just me, right?
Yeah.
So
So
wow.
we're on the same page on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the most controversial thing on my list. So
Oh,
got
really?
that right out of the bat.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Now I'm scared to say mine.
Okay.
Okay, we'll start with something lighthearted. Crocs.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay.
Wait.
Like the footwear.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to. Yeah. Okay.
Ready? One, two, three. Properly rated.
Properly rated or
Oh!
properly overrated.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, wow.
I like them.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we have the
I
same
don't.
like
It's on my list.
no
Oh
way,
my
get out.
goodness.
Is it on your list for real?
Yes.
What?
Yes. I'll show it to you after.
That's
It's number
amazing.
2. Like it's after Taylor
Lit-
Swift.
Wow.
Wow.
This is unscripted, guys. We
Yes.
actually don't know
Yes.
we don't have any idea what's
You know
oh
what?
wow.
I don't get why people hate them. They're so comfortable.
Maybe because they're ugly.
They're not ugly. They're so comfortable. They're waterproof, very appropriate for Vancouver.
Yeah.
And they even came
Versatile.
up with, like the heeled shoes so that
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
wear
yeah.
them for work, which I did.
You wear Crocs to work?
Yeah, but they
What?
look proper. I'll
What?
show a picture of it for you.
What? Like what?
I'll show a picture later.
But you work in an office.
Yeah, because it looks like regular like working shoes, but they're so comfortable. So
What
I
do you
don't.
mean they have holes in
No,
them?
no, no, not the ones with holes. So just
Oh,
imagine like proper working shoes with heels. Yeah. So that
the
was like
Crocs heard you.
no.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
know they came out with shoes.
Oh,
Like footwear. Like I was thinking like the sandals, like the, you know, the ones that we think of when
yeah,
we think of
yeah.
Crocs.
I also think those ones with holes,
Oh.
they're good. They're comfortable.
Yeah. Wow. I feel like I don't have to say anything in this podcast because I completely agree with everything you're saying. Yeah, same. So we have a few at home, and then I think we put them like at my parents' place. We put them in the backyard. It's like good for gardening, or if you're like throwing out the
Mhm.
trash. You know how you don't want to like put on your actual like footwear like to take out the trash or whatever. You just like,
Yes.
but you don't want to wear your slippers that are like your indoor slippers outside because that's dirty. And so Crocs are just like a great middleman, you know? They're just like the
Exactly.
in-between shoe.
And you know
And
what's so great
so
about them? They're durable.
yeah,
Yeah.
durable, waterproof. Like you bring them on the beach, you can bring them out. Like it's yeah, it's very versatile. But it's just ugly, you know.
Oh, so you
So
do
that's
think it's ugly, but you don't mind.
I mean, they're clearly not meant for the aesthetics, right? Like it's just for the utility. I don't see
Okay.
them as being attractive like pair of shoes, you know. But I do think they are properly rated for the fact that they are very versatile, and a lot of people wear them. You know, now they're wearing them like the ones that have like the chunky platforms.
Yeah,
Like people wear them out just as like footwear, like as like as a shoe,
I
you know,
see. Yeah, yeah.
and like not as like a, you know, slipper kind of thing. And they have those like little like gadget thingies, like the things that you can put on the holes, like the pins or
Yes.
whatever. Yeah, I
So,
see a lot of those, and you can customize it.
so I don't go crazy with the what do
I
you
don't
call
know
like
when
the
I don't,
pins?
yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
what they're called,
I'm
but
yeah
there's probably a proper term for them. But
yeah
I see them; they're cute.
yeah
It's like,
yeah.
okay, yeah,
I mean, I've never got them.
yeah,
I'm
me
perfectly
neither.
happy with how they came.
With
Like
holes,
yeah yeah
holes
yeah.
intact.
Oh, I gotta show you a picture of the shoes that I got because
Yeah.
they're pretty. I can actually wear them to
Wow.
work. I was, like googling them
I'm
just now,
in
but I couldn't find
shock.
them. But I have them at home, so I'll
So are
send
they
you a
like
picture.
they're
They have
heels?
oh, they're more like wedges. Sorry, yeah, not heels. Yeah, so
Oh,
like proper for work,
wow.
and I wore them to work for like a couple of years.
Wow, so they're
Yeah,
expanding their like
yeah, and
territory.
this was like from years ago, not like new. So
Amazing.
I surely hope they continue that line, because yeah,
Wow.
I really like the waterproof feature because you have puddles, you have rain.
Yeah.
It's also easier to clean, right? Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
materials.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I
Yeah,
really don't
exactly.
understand why people hate them.
They hate them because
Because
they look
the look.
ugly. Yeah. And it's also because I think it was like initially something that started out as a fad, you
Oh,
know,
okay.
and then it was like people wore them like ironically to be like, oh, look, I'm like so on trend. But then it actually became like a big, you know, thing.
I
People started wearing
see.
them all the time. And then, yeah. And then now I think it's just like faded into the background a bit, but now it's just like people just have them, you
I
know, just to
see.
have. So
Okay.
wow, I'm so
Wow, that's
surprised that we
I
we
know,
both
I
like have
know.
this on the list. I'm truly like this is not scripted at
Not
all.
planned at all. That
All
was
right, then
funny.
you say one.
All right. Postcards or like sending letters to
Oh,
friends or family.
okay. 1, 2, 3. Underrated.
Underrated.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Yeah, who wouldn't want to get a postcard in the
Right? But
mail
I
or
don't think
like a
people
written
still
letter?
do that. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
I still
don't.
do to like select few friends.
Yeah. I think I've
Um
only written postcards because you wanted postcards, so I've like written them to you.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Like otherwise, I'm like I or like I know you
You've
like to
only sent
buy
postcards to
postcards.
me?
I think so.
Oh, wow. The
Yeah.
sole
Like
recipient of your
literally the only
postcards?
person in this world, I
Oh
think
my
probably. Yeah.
gosh.
Cuz I wouldn't send them.
Yeah.
But like or I would cuz I wouldn't buy them either. But and again, the only postcards that I've ever bought were like for you
Oh, wow.
cuz you wanted them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. See how much of a
Would
good
you
friend I am. Just kidding.
So do you receive postcards or letters from your other friends?
I receive Christmas cards.
Oh,
Yeah, and I
okay.
think those are very sweet, and I have, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
like
I
in the
saw.
back all of
Yeah.
those cards, and I keep them. I keep all the like happy like Easter, happy Thanksgiving, happy Christmas, happy birthday,
Mm-hmm.
everything. I keep all these cards, and I think that's it's nice. It's like
Yeah.
it's very sentimental, and it's like I feel like someone has taken the time to like write a thankful card, and yeah, like you can't buy that.
Yeah.
So you should keep it,
Yeah.
and it's nice.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
still do that, like send letters or cards or postcards to a
You
few
send
friends.
letters? Like handwritten letters?
Um, Not as many anymore. I think I did
Wow.
like two,
Like when
three
you're away
times
on holiday, or like just in general, like you would mail a letter to a friend?
in general. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And my friend has sent me a letter as well, like an actual letter. So
Wow.
like a white paper of handwritten notes.
Wow.
Um,
I've never gotten a letter from you.
yeah,
What is this?
I think because we exchange
Oh,
emails.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We had
Yeah,
emails. We
yeah.
had e-letters.
Yes. But yeah, I still do that. And like with one friend of mine, she's Malaysian. We have
Mm.
been exchanging letters, postcards for years. Because
Oh,
we've been living
wow.
apart for like more than a decade. I was joking to her that, you know what, sometime, when we get to like 60 years old, we have to like meet and then bring all these letters from the past decades and just like go
Wow.
through all these.
So how
Yeah,
long
that's
has
so
it been
sweet.
since you've seen her? Like in real life?
The last time was in 2017.
Oh, so it's been a
Yeah,
while.
yeah,
Okay.
almost 10 years.
So
So,
you've been exchanging letters with her since then?
yeah, I mean, we've had like video calls. We're
Okay.
not pen pals.
Oh, pen pals. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so sweet. You know, in grade 2, we used to have pen pals, and I think I wrote the address wrong or something. And like I received the letter, and then I mailed my letter back, and then I think I didn't get a response letter. And it's probably because I wrote my own address
I
wrong, or like
see.
I
Oh
don't even know.
no.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And there's one
Oh,
something about handwriting that is so
yeah.
personal,
Yeah, that
right?
is true.
Yeah.
We
So,
don't do that anymore, eh? All
mhm.
you get in the mail are just like
Text.
flyers and like whatever bills that you gotta pay.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
yeah, I think it's
yeah, handwriting
totally
letters. I
underrated.
agree. Like I don't write handwritten letters, but I do write emails, and like
Mm,
and not
e-letters.
yeah, 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 not just for work, guys, but like actually previously in like when I started out, like my best friend in grade 5, her and I this is the same girl that was Korean that
Oh
we
yeah.
talked about in the love language episode, but like her and I exchanged emails back and forth for like years, and just kept that kind of correspondence going. And then eventually I changed my email address, and I think we kind of just like it kind of died out. But then in 2017 as well, we met up when I was in Korea, and like we had a nice time together. And then that was the last time I saw her. And I
Aw.
think we haven't exchanged emails since. I sent her an email um a long time ago, and I was like, "Oh, I don't even know if you use this email address anymore." And then I don't think I got a response back, so I'm like, "Oh, maybe she doesn't use that."
Oh
Yeah.
no.
So that kind of died out, which is a bit sad, but yeah, so it's kind of a thing,
Hmm. I
but
even got a letter from my dad when I was studying in Taiwan for university. It's
Whoa!
actually a letter. Like she was like,
Wow.
"Oh, daughter, how are you doing?"
Oh
Blah
my
blah blah.
gosh, how
Yeah,
sentimental.
but I think that I only
That's
got
really
one.
sweet. Did you reply?
I don't remember. Maybe not.
If you didn't, well, then maybe that's why. It's like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Maybe I like made a phone call or something. I can't remember.
Oh, that's really
But yeah.
sweet. Wow, I can never imagine my dad doing that. Like he can't even write like an email, let alone a letter. It's like much more dramatic. But honestly, when we first immigrated to Canada, and like this is back when the internet was not as, commonplace as it is now. But like because we didn't have a computer, we didn't have anything. And so we had to like my mother like wrote letters back home,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
they would send letters to and from, and then we used to have like a whole stack of them, and just like writing so many letters. And my mom's like a good writer, and so yeah, she wrote like so many letters back home. And then because of course at that time, like to call back to China was like expensive
Yeah.
because it's international and a long distance, and we didn't have like cell phones. So I don't even know if I think we had a home phone, but then to make the call it was like international, and like
Yeah.
every minute was like really expensive, and this and that, and like the time difference and everything. So just letters, that was the
Yeah.
way we corresponded. This is like people are like, how old are you? Yeah, back in the carrier pigeon days or
Yeah.
whatever. But it was really sweet, and you
I
lose
know.
something from that. There's
Yeah.
like that nostalgia that's kind of lost with the
Yeah.
advancement of
Yeah,
technology.
maybe sometime in the near future we'll go back to that.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Yeah.
feel like that's how trends go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
they go
you're
up and
right, you're
down.
right.
Yeah.
This reminds me, like in Italy, there's a city called Verona,
Hmm.
and like that's where like the whole Romeo and Juliet is based from. And then there's that there's that movie like with what's her face? Amanda.
Seyfried.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Letters to Juliet.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And then they wrote letters, and then they put them in the in the little like the wall like in
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Verona. I'm like, "Oh, that's so
Yeah.
sweet." It's like a very sentimental
And
thing.
people also write letters for their children now. So
Huh?
for like their future, for the children, so that they can read the letters in the future. Yes.
Oh, oh, that's so
Yeah, to be like,
sweet.
"Hi child, when you're 25 years old, these were
Oh,
my prayers, blah blah blah, that I wrote to
oh,
you
that's
when
so
you were 5 or something."
nice. Oh my gosh, that would be such a good gift.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay. I really, yeah. So I think they are underrated because we need to like get back to that era.
Yes, yes.
So agreed. Well, so we've just been agreeing on everything. Wow. I still can't believe that you have the Crocs thing on there. That's wild.
I know.
All right. So the next one is plastic surgery. All right.
Okay.
So think about it. 3 seconds.
Mhm.
One, two, three. Appropriately rated.
Overrated.
Oh, our first
Maybe.
disagreement. Okay. Okay, you go. Why do you think it's overrated?
I think it's overrated when
Oh, sorry. I should clarify. I think plastic surgery, meaning like not like fillers or like injections or Botox or anything, because I don't think that's like surgery. Surgery is when you like,
totally alter it.
like when you have to like cut something open to like
Mm.
change the shape of something in your body.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I think the injections and the fillers, like those are not
Those are
surgery.
enhancements,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess.
like
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can get like a boob
That's true.
job. That's an
That's true.
enhancement, but
That's
like
true.
that's surgery, right? So,
Okay.
but like if they have to cut you open, then that's surgery.
Yeah, something major, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
So I think it's overrated when, I mean, it's really up to you what you want to do with your body. But I think if you get to a point where you're like, oh, I want to do this and that and that, and then it's never ending,
Mm,
then I think that's inappropriately overrated. Because
inappropriately overrated. Right.
yeah,
Okay.
that's just too much. That's
Right.
that's
Right.
what I'm
Right.
trying to say.
Mm,
Because
mm, 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 mm.
then you're becoming addicted to it.
Mm, mm,
And
mm. Yeah, and it's like harmful, like to your
yeah,
body.
exactly.
Yeah.
And do you still recognize yourself in the mirror?
Mm,
Do you find satisfaction with all the changes that you make?
mm.
And to what point where you will say, okay,
Stop.
this is good.
Mm, mm. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that you can't, or you're if you have like a plastic surgery, then like you're a bad person. I just think you need to you need to know why you're doing it in the
Mm,
first place, and
mm,
know yourself,
mm, mm, mm.
whether yeah, you'll become addicted, and whether your self-image and self-identity will be tied to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I think when you have gone to the pitfalls, then that's when I think that's too much.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think I agree with everything you say.
Hmm.
Um I think before I thought the same, and I also feel like, oh, are you just really not happy with yourself? Like maybe there's another reasoning behind why you want to get the surgery that's more psychological, or like that we need to like
Address
maybe address
first. Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
because then if you're trying to use that to fill that void, it might not be the answer, right? Because you might be like, oh, why do I still feel like,
Empty.
yeah,
Yeah.
but even though
Yeah.
I look prettier or
Hmm.
whatever. So I think that's a something to think about. The reason I guess I said it's like appropriately rated is because I think that there are different reasons why people get plastic surgery. and some of it is like reconstructive. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like for those ones, I'm just like, okay, yeah, let's say you get into a terrible accident and then your face is
Mm-hmm.
like,
Ruined and
disfigured or
yeah.
whatever. And or like in the example of like the for Bubs where
Yeah.
she was like she had like a lot of sagging skin after her pregnancies, so then she got like a tummy tuck to kind of cut away the excess
Yeah.
skin that was hanging out or hanging off, like just like hanging out, just chilling.
Chilling.
But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, yeah, like I think I see that as kind of different than the enhancements, because you're kind of restoring your body to what it was originally,
Mm-hmm.
and not that you're taking your original form and enhancing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah, I feel like it's just become very ubiquitous nowadays with just, I guess, celebrity culture and just like influencers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a lot younger now, and like girls are like getting nose jobs and stuff at like
Mm-hmm.
super super young, and so
Yeah.
I think you have to be an adult when you do it, you know.
Yeah.
But then beyond that, like, yeah, I think I don't know, to each their own, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point though about reconstructive surgery because you can't. It's something that can only be fixed through surgery, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So, yeah, I think that's, or like sometimes things are like naturally a bit like off, like lopsided or whatever, or
Mm.
you have like a, let's say you have a lazy eye or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
and you're like,
yeah,
okay, I need to like make this eye align with my other eye or whatever, or
yeah, yeah.
things like that. I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe it's just like um a minor thing, but again, like I completely agree with you to be like, okay, let's not go overboard. And of course the money thing too, it's expensive to get these surgeries, and so don't
Mm-hmm.
do this outside of your means. And also be an adult, and also like let's dig deeper to see like the reasoning behind why you're
Yeah.
getting something like something like this, because maybe that's not going to satisfy you in the way that you would think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyway, so
Okay.
that's what I think.
All
Alrighties.
right. I guess I can go for another one.
Mm-hmm.
College or university?
Oh, what about it? Like
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to college,
yeah, yeah.
university?
Or like having a
Oh,
degree. To be
oh,
honest, I'm not so sure about my answer either. So,
okay.
all right,
Hmm.
ready?
Okay, are we saying college or are we saying university?
Okay, university.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, okay.
Okay. One, two, three.
Overrated.
Appropriately rated. Okay.
I think it's overrated.
Okay. Okay, why?
Okay, so I think I have to have a disclaimer. Like, it
Yeah.
depends on which field you want to
It's
go
very
into.
situational.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. But like for certain fields, completely irrelevant.
Like what?
like if you, let's say if you want to go into the arts or something, for example, or into like music or into whatever, like perhaps that's not really required, or into trades. If you want to have like, you want to be a plumber, you want to be an electrician or whatever, like it's not really required that you go to
Mm-hmm.
university. You go to a trade school and get a 2-year diploma, and then you start making like more than 150 grand like a year easily, like within 2 years after graduation or whatever. And like like the reason I know this is because we've helped out a few folks who are in the trades, and I'm like, wow, why am I in my like white collar job when the blue collar one makes so much more money?
Okay.
And so at least in Canada, because we're just desperate for trade workers. So I find that, yeah, if you have a skill, like a more like
Mm-hmm.
hands-on
Mm-hmm.
skill, then there's no need to go to university, because
You'll
the
go to like a vocational school, I'm
yeah, the
guessing. Yeah.
vocational school will be much more practical and useful for what you're seeking to do in your field. So I think it's field specific.
Mm-hmm.
And so for certain fields, not it's quite unnecessary. But for other fields, let's say you want to go to medicine or law, then
Yeah.
yeah, the prerequisite is you have a bachelor's first before you can apply to those schools, at least in Canada and the US. So in those places, it's like, yeah, if you want to go in that route, then yeah, you have to go to university. So it's kind of a
Yeah.
thing. So I would say it's overrated
Depends.
for some and
Yeah.
well, not even underrated. It's not underrated. Like it's not underrated. I think it's just, yeah, like between appropriately rated to overrated.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
what I would say.
That was going to be my answer as well, but yeah. There's
Oh,
no that middle ground.
yeah, yeah.
But I eventually settled with appropriately rated because I think the way the society is structured is that for a lot of jobs you still need that degree to even be considered for like a
Mm,
job. And sometimes they do look at your alma mater or like where you graduate,
yeah,
and that gives you kind of like an advantage.
right.
Although maybe that's
But I think now it's the advantage is minimal, and because like there's so many issues now that are coming out, with the whole like university scandals and woke
mm,
culture and all that. Like I think employers are putting less emphasis on a degree, but rather on your people skills, your practical application of knowledge in your job, and how you like, can you deliver, like can you actually do the job. And sure, it can probably get you close to the door if you're like, or in the door if you have that degree, but perhaps now it's like networking, getting to know
yeah.
people that could easily like mitigate the gap that university degree would otherwise grant you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know cuz I know like people who know they won't need to go to university, and because they I don't know, let's say they're celebrities or they're artists, so
Mm,
they don't need that for their career.
right.
Um but some still go to
Yeah,
university,
to like
like
learn, yeah.
yeah,
Like if you're in music, let's say you go into like,
music
um
business or something,
yeah,
or
and you want to learn like music theory or history or
yeah.
this and that, yeah,
Yeah,
it,
so
it can be
I
formative.
still see how there's like a lot of benefits
Yeah,
from that.
yeah,
So it really depends on what you want.
yeah.
And I
But
think it doesn't hurt to have
the
a
tuition
degree.
though, the
Oh yeah.
debt.
It hurts your pockets, I guess.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's the whole thing right now, especially like the hot button topic in the US, where kids are just being like saddled with all this debt out of university that they have no chance of repaying. And
Mhm.
it's just such a burden to place on somebody that, let's say if they went to like a, I don't know, like a trade, what do you call those, like vocational schools, like a trade
Mhm.
school, like maybe you pay much less and then you can start your own business and then just like be quite financially stable through that. But again, of course, we're looking at this with a very, North American lens. So obviously, like places like China and like other Asian countries where you have one college entrance exam and that literally like determines your
Determines.
future
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
the rest of your life. Like there's no question, there's no doubt that you have to do it. Like it's a mandatory exam.
Mhm.
And so for many people, that's their only ticket out of poverty. That's their
Yeah.
only like escape. So yeah, with that, then yeah, then that's I think appropriately
Yeah, and
rated.
that's why I said,
But
in this society, if you
yeah,
don't have a degree, yeah,
okay,
it's hard for you to get even like a step to the door
yeah,
because
yeah,
people won't even consider you.
yeah, yeah,
So,
valid,
yeah.
valid. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Wow, interesting topics. All right, okay. I have one that's kind of funny
Okay.
and one that's like a bit more
Spicy.
yeah.
Okay,
Uh
let's go with the spicy one.
the spicy one. Okay. John Piper.
Oh my goodness. OMG.
So for those that don't know, John Piper is like a very prolific and well-known biblical pastor, scholar, theologian, etc., who's still alive right now. He's an American. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, ready? One, two, three. Overrated.
Overrated.
Oh, shots fired.
No surprise though.
Yeah, I mean, no surprise to us because we
Yes,
talk about
yes,
this,
yes.
but I think it might be controversial and making some waves.
We're gonna lose like listeners. We're getting
Whatever,
canceled.
it's okay. We'll lose them. Like it's okay. I mean, this is
Yeah.
this is our opinions. It's not
Yes.
the truth. It's
We can
just
still be friends with differing opinions.
yes, of course.
Right.
Anyhow. So, what's your reasoning for overrated?
For me, it's really simple. I find it hard to understand him. I'm sorry, John Piper. I think you can be simpler in the way you express yourself.
Ding ding ding. I agree 100%. I feel like and it's really honestly not for lack of trying. Like I have so he has his website called Desiring God and for a long time I was like a subscriber and like he would have these like daily posts and whatever. And like how do I describe this? Like when I would read them, I would just be like, what are you saying? Like genuinely, I feel like this man is thinking like, oh, why use 10 words when I can use 50? It's like he's really not known for being concise. Quite the opposite. I think he's very verbose, and not only just verbose, but he's very like convoluted in his speech. I just find that he's not really clear, and the way like his word choice is like very like unnecessarily sophisticated. Like it's like I mean yeah, it's not like we're I mean yes, I can understand, but it's just it seems rather
It's very wordy, very
yes, very
lengthy.
wordy,
Yeah.
very
And
like
for the longest time, I thought it was my English. I
nah,
thought, okay,
it's not
yeah, I'm
you,
just not
it's
good
him.
enough. Until one day we just started talking about
Yeah,
him, and I
no, I'm
I
like
don't
I
know
don't
who
understand this
mentioned it
man.
first. I was like,
Me.
and I'm like, really, you don't understand him?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
not you. Or
it's not.
unless it's both of us. But I genuinely am just like, I don't understand this man. And I literally, like, I went on Wikipedia, like, I read his, like, whatever Wikipedia was saying about his philosophy and theology. And of course, I mean, Wikipedia, take it with a grain of salt and everything. But, like, and then I would read, like, and then on the same note, like, of,
The podcast.
yeah, so I will listen to some of the podcasts. And again, this man is just like, what are you saying, sir? Like, he's just like, going around in circles and this and that. I'm like, I
Mhm.
don't understand you. And
Yeah.
I can understand like I can understand sophisticated thought. It's not like I'm like incapable. But with him, I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just not
You're
my
like,
cup of
what
tea.
is your point?
Yeah. And there are so many people that are just so infatuated
And I
and
so want to talk to one of those
like
people.
yes, to be like
Like genuinely.
what do you see in this
Yes.
man?
Yes.
Like I don't get
Yeah.
it. Maybe I'm just too stupid for this, but whatever. Like
Ooh,
and I
that was
tried to read his
controversial.
books. Like
Oh,
so
okay.
on the the email or whatever I said I got like these daily emails and then occasionally oh yeah, he also like publishes like a book a week or something. He's like very very published. And I think it's because the editor has just given up on editing because it just like so many words like unnecessarily and
Oh
like
man.
I'm really being quite rude, but I don't have anything against this man personally, but I just feel like if he were able to be more concise and precise in his language, he would garner a lot more followers and an audience. Not to say that his audience is small, but it's just that
And I'm
yeah,
truly genuine, sorry, I'm like truly wanting to learn from him.
yeah, it's like I gave him so many
Yeah.
chances, so I was trying to read the book like so then they would send it to you by email like the whole book via PDF and it's like free and I was like wow that's very generous and I would read it and I'd be like I don't get it like and I'm like in my head I'm like is this why the book is free
Yeah.
like it's because like I don't understand and I mean this is not ill-spirited I just genuinely don't understand
Yeah.
I just can't
If you're a
help
John
it.
Piper fan, we want to talk to you.
Please,
We really
please,
do.
I enlighten us.
Yeah.
Enlighten us
Yeah.
on his like on him. I just I really I
Yeah.
don't it's like to me reading him, okay, this may sound a bit sacrilege, but it's like reading the ESV sometimes. When I'm just
Oh
like it's just really wordy, like unnecessarily sometimes. And so I don't know. Maybe it's just I think it's me. I need to self-reflect, but I just I don't know. I don't know. that's kind of that's me.
All right.
So yeah, we got that out of the way.
Yes.
And
Oh wow,
you?
I didn't know you were gonna say that when I said, "Oh, let's go with the spicy one." But okay.
Okay.
Um,
Why did you have it on your list?
no, no,
Okay.
no,
I
no.
was like,
Should
okay.
we go for one or two more? I have a
Sure.
funny one.
Okay, go.
Garlic.
What? What?
You didn't expect that, right?
No. Garlic. Okay. Sure.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Appropriately
Properly
rated?
rated. Yes.
Yeah. Who's gonna say garlic is overrated? I don't get it.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean it's quite ubiquitous in like Asian dishes.
Yeah.
But some people like hate them.
Hey, garlic.
Yeah, yeah. Like people would
Oh.
actually pick them out from their dishes for them to be
Oh.
able to eat.
But it's a great seasoning, and it's a
I
great.
think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's just hard to get the smell off your hands when you
yeah,
make them.
yeah.
That's the only thing.
Oh, yeah. Or I thought. Oh, you mean like from? Oh, I thought you meant like on your breath.
Oh yeah, that too.
that
That
too.
too. That
Yeah.
too. But people eat raw garlic.
Yes, that I cannot do
Do
that.
you?
No,
Okay,
no.
I don't do that either. But a lot of people, like northerners in China, like when they eat dumplings and stuff, they would like just eat the dumpling and then dip it in the vinegar and then just like munch on some garlic
Yes, I've seen that firsthand.
raw.
Yeah. It's like
And I'm like, wow, that's pungent.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, my dad does it sometimes, but like we don't really do that at home
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
because it's quite strong.
Yeah.
And so
No, I don't like that raw, but for, like
for seasoning,
sauteing
for garnish, yeah,
vegetables,
yeah,
I don't think there's ever a point when I'm like, this is too much garlic. No.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Me
very,
neither.
very good
Me neither.
seasoning.
It's great.
So,
Wow, that's so
yeah.
funny. Okay, then I have a funny one too. Okay, it's well, it's like a threefold thing, but I think what I'm trying to get at is kind of like, okay, I'll just say it first.
Okay.
Poutine, beaver tails, and maple taffy. So it's kind of like
Canadian delights.
Canadian, yeah, cuisine. Yeah, yeah, Canadian specific cuisine. Poutine, beaver tails, maple taffy.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Appropriately
Overrated.
rated.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
I'm in between overrated and appropriately rated. But
Okay,
maybe
so,
leaning more
do
towards.
you have one that I think that you think is like
like really good?
yeah, okay, so for me the reason I said it's overrated is mainly because of the beaver tails and maple taffy. I think those ones are kind of overrated, and poutine is like okay, it's like appropriately rated. So that's why I just said it, like it's two over one, so I'm like okay, it's overrated.
I think they're appropriately rated. I mean, maple taffy is really cool. It's like sugar made on top of ice. The first time I saw that,
Yeah, that's the overrated bit. I'm like, it's literally just ice. Then you pour like, some maple taffy.
That's cool.
Like, what is the fast? I don't like. I'm like, it's just ice.
Because I'm like, do you have any other dishes in other countries that are made like that? No.
Yeah, because it's just ice, you guys. Okay, so for those that are like the uneducated about this, it's like maple taffy is a Canadian delicacy whereby you have literally a block of ice and then you pour fresh maple syrup over it and it hardens and you use like a wooden stick and you roll that up and it becomes a taffy like
frozen
consistency because the maple syrup has been frozen by the ice, so it becomes like a sticky taffy. Beaver tails is like a deep fried dough and then you sprinkle some cinnamon sugar and like squeeze some lemon on it, and there's like different flavors, sweet or savory, typically sweet. I didn't even know beaver tails existed until I went to Ottawa. Okay. Like we just don't even have beaver tails here. I'm like, what is this? The first time I saw it I was like, oh, what? And it's shaped like a kind of like an oval shape because it's like trying to mimic like a beaver's tail. I think that's where that name comes from. And poutine is just like, fries with gravy and cheese curds. That's it.
Yeah.
I think like poutine is probably the most like Canadian thing, I would say. Like it's poutine is like fairly like known around the world as like a Canadian thing. Maple taffy and beaver tails, I don't think it has that kind of international acknowledgement.
Yeah, but I think beaver tails taste good. I really think they're
Yeah, yeah.
appropriately rated because
They're
they're good.
good. They're good. I
Maple
don't know.
taffy, like taste wise, is okay, but I think it's just cool. At least for me, the first time I saw it, I'm like, "Ooh, you make that on ice and you just like roll it? Oh, okay, okay."
Wow,
Yeah,
really? I was so underwhelmed when I saw it. I was like, that's it?
you're
Like
like,
it's
"How
just
is this a
I
thing?"
just paid for like maple syrup on a stick. Like,
I mean, yeah, I probably wouldn't buy it, but like if I have visitors, or like friends, coming to Canada for
it's
the
like a
first time,
novelty thing.
yeah, yeah, I'd be
Yeah,
like, "Hey,
yeah,
you
yeah,
want to
yeah.
try maple taffy?" So, yeah, I
Maybe they'll be underwhelmed. I don't know. It's like, oh, it's just maple syrup on a stick. Great.
but that like there's a lot of like Canadian aspects to it, like winter, maple syrup, ice.
The wood. Just kidding. The stick. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess. Okay. I don't know. To me, I'm just like,
Still not
I'm
convinced.
just eating maple syrup on a stick. You know, what's the difference between me just like dipping it into the syrup and just like taking a taking a sip of it? It's just, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not. I think it's a bit overrated. Beaver tails, I also feel like it's just fried dough. It's not. I mean, yeah, it's like
It's good.
it's okay. It's like okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But I think those are more just like novelty things that would be like, oh, this is like
You have to eat this because you're in Canada.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe for
And
like a
not
one
because they're good.
right, right,
They're
right.
good, good. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's like a one-time thing, you know?
Right, yeah.
Like if you go to I don't know, what's a equivalent? I don't know. Like if you like you just go somewhere. Sometimes people are just like some cities are just known for those like that delicacy, but like it's not even because it's like super good because it's just like it's just known. It's just like a
Mm,
known thing. That's why you eat
like
it.
on a daily basis, you wouldn't have that,
No.
or if you're not hosting, you
Like
wouldn't
it's just
order
like
that.
when you know when you go to like Chinese like those like Americanized or Canadianized like Chinese restaurants where they have like spring rolls. Like I've never eaten spring rolls like apart from like those Chinese restaurants and like in Vietnamese restaurants. It's just like it's not like something you eat daily in China. You know what I mean?
Oh,
But it's like, oh, if you're there, like you just get it. Or like fortune cookies or something. Like
I
ain't nobody
see.
eating fortune cookies in China, right? It's just like but you don't eat it because it's good. You just eat it because it's like, oh, like the novelty of like being in a,
Yeah,
Chinese
yeah,
restaurant or whatever. So
yeah.
I'm kind of like,
Okay,
all right.
interesting.
Yeah. Do you have any last ones?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to. These
Indulge
are
in
the other
another
ones that I
one.
have. Okay.
I think-
So probably we'll end it here just given the time.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, then I think we basically agreed on everything.
Yeah, yeah.
With like one or two exceptions, the plastic surgery and then the beaver tail stuff.
Yeah.
But
We'd like to
wow.
hear what you think.
Yeah, yeah. Please don't cancel us. But yeah,
See
this
you
was
at the
fun.
next episode,
Yeah.
hopefully.
There's so many more we can think of, like so many other things that could be over or under or appropriately rated. But you, our guests, are underrated. We hope you think we're overrated. I mean, no, not that we're not overrated, that we're appropriately rated or underrated as well. All right. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.